Hey, we back with another banger video. Hey, make sure y'all grab y'all some water, whatever it is y'all do when y'all watch my videos. Come and rock with your boy. And also, if y'all haven't joined that membership, man, join that membership. I'm starting to get it cracking over there, man. I'm starting to upload more in my membership. So, hey, if y'all want to join that membership, but at the end of the day, I'm always gonna keep content coming, no matter what. But hey, yeah, man, let's get to the video. I ain't gonna hold y'all for too much longer.
Yale University posted the most cursed book in history to the internet, and it's driving people insane. A 250-page medieval codex written in an unknown language that no one has been able to decipher for over 600 years. But an Egyptologist claims he cracked it and knows exactly what it says. The Voynich manuscript is an ancient book filled with this unknown writing and drawings that suggest it might be some sort of manual for black magic or sorcery. Written sometime between 1404 and 1438 on pages made from calfskin in an indecipherable text that we haven't been able to translate. It's kind of crazy to look at, like it obviously says something and has a clear linguistic structure to it, but we just have no idea what any of this means. Everyone has tried to solve it. Mathematicians, computer scientists, linguists, historians, the FBI. Even the cryptographer who famously cracked the German Enigma code, Alan Turing, gave it a shot and failed. Along with the text, the book is filled with cryptic pictures of plants, creatures, astronomy, and naked women in bathtubs. The book is divided into roughly 4 sections: herbal, astrological, balneological, which is the study of the therapeutic use of baths, and pharmacological, medicine. First, the herbal section is filled with diagrams of plants that don't even exist, at least not on Earth.
Now, my thing is, so this book is evil, but why would Yale University have it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What was the first case that you looked into that got you thinking that something weird's going on?
Probably would have been at Yosemite, and there was a girl named Stacy Eris, and she just weirdly, she grew up like 5 miles from me. I grew up in a little city, Cupertino, California. She grew up in Saratoga, the next town over. She went with her dad on a trip by horse sponsored by a contractor in the park at Yosemite, and they were going to ride into this place called the High Sierra Camp. Her and her dad and 5 other people. And they get escorted in by a cowboy contractor, and they come to these cabins. And her dad's an older guy. They get to the cabin, and she says, "Hey, Dad, I want to go over here to the point. I want to take some pictures." She brings her camera. And one of the guys, a 72-year-old guy, is sitting at that point, and she goes, "I'm going to go right there and sit with him and take some pictures." He goes, "Sure." Dad watches her walk out. They sits down. Old guy, barely could ride the horse. She's taking pictures. She gets up, and down at the bottom of the hill, there's a small lake. And surrounding the lake, there's trees. She walks down into the trees, presumably to take pictures of the lake, but she doesn't come back.
What was the first?
There's this town that disappeared overnight in Kansas, and no one knows where it went. Follow me down the Reddit rabbit hole into the town called Ashley.
Now this is a story.
So the story goes, in 1952, there was a small town called Ashley on the western side of Kansas. On August 17th, they had a massive earthquake hit the region, and the nearby towns could feel the ground shake from miles away. When rescue teams went to check it out the next morning, Ashley wasn't there no more. There was no wreckage, no debris, not even a road leading to where the town used to be. The joint was just missing. All that was left in this space was an open field, no foundation and no trace of the people. Radio reports from the neighboring town of Hayes said that before the quake, they saw strange lights in the sky and heard what sounded like trumpets echoing for miles. But the weirdest part was, phone operators said that they were still getting phone calls from the residents of Ashley for days after the quake. And then the callers would say things like, the sky won't turn blue again, and that the sun never came back up. Eventually, the call stopped, the report stopped, and when the state records were checked, there was no town called Ashley, Kansas. There were no maps, no census data, nothing. Sound familiar, right? But there are old newspaper clippings, archived radio logs, and even military record mentioning a localized event that was never explained. Kind of makes you wonder, did the town ever exist, or was it erased from history? Wouldn't be the
Wait, hold on.
first time. There's this town.
Now, It's been a lot of weird stories I've heard about Kansas. This could possibly be true, but that's crazy.
Man, this right here. Whew, this why you got to be on the Patreon, man. Because there's stuff like this, they don't want you to know. And then when you find out stuff like this, it's like, wow, really? Did you know there's a law to keep invention secret? I see you looking. Okay. Not any invention, but if the invention, okay, there's a law, like I said, if you patent any device that is more than 20% efficient, it will be classified and made a state secret and vital to national security. You can't talk about it, you can't build it or sell it unless you sell it to the U.S. military.
20%.
Yeah, they started with a guy named Charles Pogue. Don't check my pronunciation. I might not be wrong, but Pogue, who somehow he got his carburetor in his car or his truck to make his car go 200 miles a gallon. All right, this is back in the 30s. He did this. So, which was finna change the game with everything. If you can go 200 miles on 1 gallon of gas, that was finna change everything. Right? So, when news of this new engine got out, all the oil stocks crashed immediately. Like, you know, just like now when news come out, they go up and they go down. Same thing. It ain't nothing. It's last 100 years, it's been going on. So as soon as news of this engine that you're gonna be to make a car go 200 miles on 1 gallon of gas, all the oil stocks crashed. So the oil industry lobbied the U.S. government to do something about it. So that's when they passed the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951. Okay, hold on. Now we're gonna go into what is that? Cause this is crazy. Like, how you gonna just suppress? This is why people be inventing stuff and they be disappearing and stuff be happening. This is why, and why we ain't got no new inventions and this stuff and that. Yeah, because anytime you invent anything that can circumvent what the major dollar is, they cutting that out. All right, and this look like this. All this is public knowledge. Like I always tell y'all, you can look all this stuff up. You know, if you want to hide something from somebody, especially they say black people, put it in the book. So okay, but now we got the internet right in your hands. So check me out now. The Invention Secrecy Act of 1951, enacted February 1st, 1952, is a United States federal law that authorizes the government to suppress disclosure of certain inventions for reasons of national security. The statute empowers selected federal agencies to decide whether a patent application poses a risk to compel its classification under secrecy orders. In practice, secrecy orders have been imposed not only on inventions affecting military defense, but also on those alleged to threaten economic stability. Messing with the dollar. Messing with the dollar, dog. So you invent something that can save people money, they're not letting you have it, basically. That's basically what this law says. This is crazy. Yeah, like, with critics noting that many such restrictions rest on...
Man, this is crazy, man. You make anything that makes the world better, they like, nah, we can't have that. Crazy.
You guys definitely remember this picture, right? That conspiracy that's circulating the web right now. Well, everyone and their mother's like, well, this is just Ghislaine, whatever her name is. That's Maxwell. That's gotta be her. Huh. Do you guys know who this is? I bet you don't. Her name is Kristen. And that is part of the pageant situation of JonBenet Ramsey. It was her pageant coach. So let me just point something out to you. You notice her nose, you see how it kind of dips down and kind of comes out a little bit here? Just take a quick look at her nose. Looks very similar to what it does right here. Just saying. But the next thing I want to bring up to your attention is look at her hair. It's dark hair, dark eyebrows. Look at the jawline. Let's go back to the picture again. Can't see the jawline, but you can see the dark hair and you can see the dark eyebrows, can't you? What's the point here I'm trying to make? So many people are swirling these conspiracy theories saying that previous picture is Ghislaine, or whatever her name is, Maxwell, and she's involved in the files and all this stuff. Guys, Patsy had short dark hair. The pageant coach had short dark hair. You are aware that the 90s, a lot of people had short hair, dark or blonde or brown or red. It doesn't mean that she's wrapped up in these Epstein files. Wow. You guys...
I don't know. I think that may be her. I don't know, man.
There's a crisis going on in Memphis that nobody's talking about. 3 million gallons of our drinking water per day is being used by XAI, Elon Musk, to power his supercomputer. This is a crisis because we will soon run out of water that is consumed for our people here. All the local nonprofits and activist communities have failed the city of Memphis, and it's time for the people themselves to give rise to action. The MAACP has failed you. The Sierra Club has failed you. The Memphis Protect Our Aquifer has failed you. All mostly led by white people and people who of color who are affluent. We need people of the streets to rise up and demand that this program ends. All the people of affluence and white people have pretty much settled for a theoretical water treatment plant that has not been fully or really completed or even really started, or we develop programs where we all work for Elon, in which case it's not really going to happen because that defeats the purpose of AI. So yes, we need the people of Memphis to rise up. We need the people to rise up. We need you to get up and honestly not question your leaders. It's time to hold your leaders to task and say, hey, we're tired of these kibbles and bits. I see that they gave Orange Mile a new sign and all these streets, but they're not addressing the fact that they're literally putting us in a death trap. They're literally putting us in a death trap of eventuality of when we run out of drinking water. So yeah, a lot of these people are not to be trusted. The NAACP is not to be trusted. That no one in the activist community is really doing what they can. It's only a few people, us in the Tigers versus Pollution, but ultimately, no. They are overly influenced by other nonprofits and other nonprofits and organizations that with money to de-radicalize any movement or any organization that can affect any radical change here in the city of Memphis. This is an emergency. This is a cry for help. Please share this comment, share this video wherever you can. We need help. This is a crisis. It just happened. You just don't know it yet. But when it hits and you trapped here, they're going to do to us like they did to the people in Katrina. They're going to shoot us for trying to leave. And this is a historical effect of American imperialism. When a disaster hits in any area, they refuse to let any black citizens leave and openly shoot us down. You should look up the Devil's Punch Bowl. It really put a cap on all this. So yes, if you can, get up, rise up now, take action now, and abandon capital.
Well, I don't think I've heard about that in Memphis, but I know now, and I'll do more research on that. But if that's the truth, hey, pray for Memphis.
What the fuck am I looking at, you guys? Look in the center of the video.
What is that?
This white cloud keeps going back and forth.
No way.
Watch. I'm at a rest stop. In a deserted area with no cell service.
Get him out of there. It's over. Come on!
Watch the center of my screen. See that big cloud thing?
What is that?
Look at that. What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
It keeps going back and forth like it's
flying.
walking back and forth.
Get up out of there.
What the fuck? And there's nothing.
Hey, I see
There's
it.
no vehicles. There's no vehicles going by. It's not my reflection.
What the hell was that? Could it be this? Could it be a spirit walking back and forth, plotting, thinking, reminiscing? What the hell was that? And to be honest with you guys, I don't think that was AI, so don't you dare say it.
My thing is, why
Stop playing with me, son. This for your same purpose. I don't know what the hell is going on there, but whatever that lady was doing, she should have never been recording this. She should have got the hell up out of there exactly right when she done recording this shit, bro. I'm tired of this. Start looking out for cloud people now. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys. You know what time is it. But I tell you one thing. If I'm ever walking down the block by myself and I see one of those things coming towards me, come on, dogs.
Yeah, I see that. I'm gone. I ain't even recording it. I'm out of there. You hear me?
This man accidentally drove into a Matrix-built city, and what he saw when he tried to turn back will haunt him forever. It happened in Arizona to a man named Sadhu. It started as a normal morning. Sadhu turned on his GPS to head to work, just like always. But bizarrely, the system mapped out a strange hidden route. Following the directions, all city noise completely vanished, and everything fell into a dead, eerie silence. His GPS clearly showed he was inside a massive park. But look at his footage. There are no woods or grass outside his window. Instead, there are rows of houses that are so neat, it's chilling. Look closely at these buildings. Their structure, materials, size, and even the angles of the roofs are completely identical. There are no house numbers, no mailboxes, and zero signs of human activity. It's exactly like a glitch in the real-world code, forced into an infinite copy and paste loop. Sadhu kept his foot on the gas, driving through this creepy place for a full half hour. The road kept stretching forward, but the scenery outside was trapped in a crazy loop with no end in sight. He felt like a lab rat lost in an artificial matrix, and an overwhelming sense of suffocation instantly hit him. Realizing something was terribly wrong, he slammed on the brakes and frantically cranked the steering wheel, deciding to make a U-turn and escape right away. But the exact moment the car spun around and his headlight lit up the road behind him, what appeared through the windshield made his blood run absolutely cold. This man accidentally...
That's weird.
At around 3 inches in the morning, when the world was completely asleep, someone captured a piece of footage that feels deeply unsettling. The sky suddenly began flashing with an unnatural red light over and over again, like some kind of signal being transmitted. And then a red object tore across the night sky, except it wasn't alone. More and more fireball-like objects started appearing and falling rapidly from above. But what happens next is where things become truly disturbing instead of disappearing. After hitting the ground, these objects began moving at extreme speed across the surface as if they were searching for something, and then without warning, they stretched into vertical beams of light gliding slowly across the ground like they were scanning the entire area, and just when it seemed like it couldn't get any stranger, all of the beams suddenly converged into one point and vanished instantly, leaving no trace and no explanation. Some people claim this is something we were never meant to see, while others refuse to talk about it at all. So if you saw this with your own eyes, how would you explain it?
If I seen that with my own, I don't even know what I would do. I just, man, that's crazy.
And we have here somebody who actually did just go vote for Ron Paul, a first-time caucus voter, Corporal Jesse Thorson, who is 28 years old, and you are active duty U.S. Army. Why did you vote for Ron Paul?
Well, I'm really excited about a lot of his ideas, especially when it comes to bringing the soldiers home. I've been serving for 10 years now, and all 10 years of those have been during wartime. I'd like to see a little peacetime army, and I think he has the right idea.
Now, you have done 2 tours in Afghanistan. You told me you're going to go back for a third tour. I mean, if you can see your neck right there, what you have on your tattoo, 9/11, remember, and a picture of the Twin Towers. You know, some Republicans out there have been saying that Ron Paul would be very dangerous for this country because he wants to bring troops like you back from your post from all over the world.
Well, I think it would be even more dangerous to start nitpicking wars with other countries. Someone like Iran, Israel is more than capable of.
All right, we just lost our connection, unfortunately.
They lost their connection. Come on, man.
They want the world to think a black man killed a black man. But the doctor is just a finger to a bigger hand. It's much more involved. And when this news comes over here, you all believe what you hear from Sky News and Euro News and CNN and Fox News. But it's not the truth. It's not the truth. The doctor is a finger to a bigger hand. There's many more involved. To this day, we still don't know who all came in that house because the surveillance tapes were erased that happened that night. Now, how can the authorities erase tapes? So who are they covering it up for? Who are they hiding?
Conrad Murray is simply the fall guy. This was definitely something that was premeditated, that they had planned to do, and they planned to take my brother out, and my brother knew it. And that's why he told me repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly that this was going to happen to him. He explained it to him. He explained it's because of my catalog, which is my publishing, and they're after it, and they want it, and they want their hands on it, and they want to take it away from them.
They want the...
Exactly. He was too powerful, man. Once you get that powerful, they're going to do whatever they can to secure the bag. And that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? So he was worth more dead than alive to them in their eyes. But my thing is, why wasn't the catalog, or was it like given to their family after he passed? It should have been like willed to their family or something. But he might not even had a will, you know. But still, they probably would have still found a way to take it, you know. But that's crazy.
All right, y'all. So this is a anonymous story that somebody sent to me. I get a lot of these, and I told you guys I was going to start talking about them to y'all. She wants to be anonymous, so I'll keep her anonymous, but we're going to call her Mary. So Mary messaged me and told me that she is a real life reptilian. I know it sounds crazy, but it's what Mary said, and I believe her. She said that one time, this happened twice, that she saw herself shapeshift out of nowhere. The first time, she saw her reflection and it did not move. I don't know what that means, but that's what she said. But the second time, she said she was staring at herself in the mirror and she was overstimulated. I don't know what she was going through, but she saw her face transform into a complete reptilian. She saw scales appear. She saw her face transform. She saw her body change. She was standing in the mirror with no clothes on. I think she may have just gotten out of the shower or was getting ready to shower. I don't know what the situation was, but she saw herself completely transform, and it freaked her out so bad. She didn't know what to say, what to do. She was just terrified. And then after she panicked, she turned away and looked back, and she was back to normal. Now, just so you know, Mary says she don't do no drugs, she don't drink, she don't smoke, she don't do no extracurricular activities, if you know what I mean. So for people that saying, oh, she was tripping out or she was high, that wasn't the situation for Mary. So with all that being said, what do you think about that? Do you think that there are shapeshifters or reptilians that don't even know that they're reptilians? And they just have that bloodline and it's just dormant in them until something triggers it, or certain bells or certain sounds or frequencies come out. She said that she has not done it since. This was a little while ago, maybe like a year or two ago. I have to go reread it. But she said she's scared to even try to make herself do it again because she was so scared. So comment below what y'all think about this. Have you had this experience? Have you seen somebody shapeshift and then just go back? Do you believe this? I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but this is all alleged. Like, this is just what she told me. I don't know if it's true or not, but I told y'all I was going to start sharing y'all stories. And if you have any more stories or story times or experiences that you want me to talk about, send them to me. I will read them. I will talk about them. And if you want to stay anonymous, let me know. If you want me to say your name, I will. But let me know what y'all think about that story.
That's crazy. That I don't know, man. So, hey, do I have any reptilians watching me? If I got a reptilian watching me, y'all send me an email so I can interview you. I'm gonna pull up on you. I'm gonna interview you and put it on the channel. I might put it in the membership. I don't know, but if you're a reptilian or gray or any of them things, email me so I can go pull up on you.
Everything I say is for educational purposes only, strictly entertainment. Everything is 100% alleged. The only thing I ask is that you engage with the video so more people can see it before it gets removed. I'm a researcher that has built a career debunking paranormal claims, so imagine my surprise when I felt like I was being watched in an underground cave system. I turned around and to my surprise, I was being watched. She was 5'5" with vertical pupils, large eyes. Every time she blinked, a transparent membrane went across her eyes, and she also was pale green with brown spots on her skin. She told me that she wasn't going to tell me her name because no matter how hard I tried, I wouldn't be able to pronounce it, and that mispronouncing names in her culture is disrespectful. I wouldn't say her presence was intimidating or hostile, just a stranger leery of another stranger. I asked if she lived in this cave system and she told me no, that this cave system is only an entrance, that her and beings like her have been living deep in the earth at depths that we can't even imagine. They have been living that way for millions of years in vast cities carved out of rocks. She said they aren't shapeshifters, they only just alter the way that we see them. because their brain structure is different and more active. Psychic abilities amongst her kind are normal. They're usually born with these gifts like telepathy and telekinesis. One thing that stood out the most is when she said that her and her kind were the original occupants of Earth and that there is no human evolution. We were engineered. Millions of years back, advanced beings showed up to Earth claiming to have discovered Earth. According to her, they sourced Earth for copper because a lot of advanced beings have figured out that copper can produce gravity fields that can manipulate time, space, and gravity. A lot of times they use copper to help their crafts fly. I'm not a science person, so I'm not even going to pretend that I can explain that to you. However, a reptilian race showed up to Earth claiming to have discovered Earth, and they wanted in on the copper. But when it was made clear that they wasn't going to have access to the copper, they became infuriated and a war broke out. They then would go on to drop a bomb onto the Earth. According to her, not only did that bomb nearly destroy Earth, but it destroyed the conditions of Earth so much that her kind had to retreat underground. But that bomb also wiped out the dinosaurs. According to her, millions of years after the fact, another group of advanced beings would show up, known as the Anunnaki. Allegedly, the Anunnaki wanted to mine the Earth of copper, so they needed a labor force. The Anunnaki took the primates that were living on Earth and genetically altered them into humans to make them slaves. Anunnaki, or our creators, often engineered us, experimented, and then destroyed us.
They not our creators. Obviously, if you would talk to them, they probably would say that because they hate God, but God is our creator. Straight up.
Whenever we asked too many questions or they felt that an uprising was going to happen. Have you ever wondered why almost every group of people have a story about humanity resetting, whether it was through a flood, volcano, or earthquake? That's because our creators were destroying us and starting over. She went on to say that the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids, that the fifth version of humanity did, and that the Egyptians found them. We are the seventh version of humanity, and before our creators left the earth, they suppressed us, suppressed our mental so much so that we have no access to our psychic abilities. She then went on to warn that there are 3 alien races headed toward Earth, one coming for genetics, one coming from hydrogen from the ocean, and the other coming for copper. And while we have that to worry about, she also said that we need to watch out for the Draco Reptilians, that they operate from the moon and oftentimes disguised as politicians and higher-ups, that they want a one-world order. She assured me that her race of reptilians avoid humans and they're not aggressive at all. She ended with this: even though we're the 7th version of humanity, we are the first prototype. Our creators instilled aggression, territorial instincts, as well as pack mentality in us, that we would act as weapons in the absence of their presence against the 3 alien races, and the Draco Reptilians said, okay. An anonymous researcher who claimed to have spoke with a female reptilian in a cave system. If stories like this interest you, be sure to give me a follow because I enjoy these discussions too.
But then I tell you, that was going to be their story. That's why Trump finally made the alien disclosure. The whole story is going to be, we came from them just to disprove God. Obviously, an alien would want to tell you that. But don't forget who the real creator is. God, Jesus Christ, and the Father. You can call me Yeshua, Yahuwah, whatever. Jesus Christ, Jesus, whatever. Jesus, the true creator. And don't forget that.
Forrestal is told that every book in the libraries, every book in the colleges, every book in the universities, every book on this planet is misinformation. It's misinformation. So, which is initiated by the Draco Reptilians as far back as 6,000 years ago.
The reptilians really came into control and started to be able to manipulate what was going on the face of the planet about 6,000 to 7,000 years ago. It is true that they have different masking technologies to be able to be in a room and look like a human, but usually they're in underground bases in various places on the globe, as well as in a huge area in Antarctica. The southeast region has a large number of underground caverns that are kept extremely warm, too warm for humans, by geothermal heat. It's a perfect place for all of these colonies that the reptilians have. They're basically cities, huge cities with millions of them.
So, the Secretary of the Navy selects Rick Abada. He's not even an American. He comes over here with his family. He goes to school here. He goes to the second year in high school. He leaves school He joins the Navy as a third-class seaman, works his way up in the Navy. Now he's a commander, okay? That commander is selected by the Secretary of the Navy to head up all of these operatives to go back into Germany and find out what's going on. Because that individual had never had misinformation given to him about every technical field on the planet.
Everything we learn in the establishment-controlled education systems is specifically designed to program our minds away from the truth. Physics is wrong. Medicine is wrong. History is wrong. Everything we are taught in textbooks is mainly wrong. And this is done purposefully so we don't understand how to move our bodies, how to feed our bodies, what really happened in the past, what technology can...
Hey, that they hit the nail on the head. I think I did that video again, but I do so many videos. You might see some of the same ones, but that's worth watching again.
I absolutely love a good story about people who aren't quite human. So this man tells this story from when he was a teenager. He said he was home alone and somebody rang the doorbell and he answered. So he answers the door to find a guy standing there. And he says he's from a really small town, but despite that fact, he did not recognize him. So this guy introduces himself as the pastor of your parents' church. And he said, well, I guess that seemed plausible enough. He mentions never having met the pastor before, so it could be him. And then he goes, but I have no idea what he wanted or came here for because I was completely distracted by the fact that this man's eyes were slit like a cat's. He said, and it was super obvious too, because he also had extremely light blue eyes. And then he said an intense feeling of wrongness hit him in the chest. He said he got this feeling as though there were a nearby predator that he couldn't see. So he says that this guy keeps talking at him for a few minutes, but he cannot think of anything else other than concentrating on if what he is really seeing is reality. So he says after a little while, this really uneasy feeling inside of him was just way too much. And then he said he kind of mumbled something to him along the lines of, my parents aren't home, and then he shut the door and locked it. He also said that he never ended up meeting the pastor of his church in a formal way, so he doesn't know if this person or thing was lying. So what do you guys think? Is there a medical condition where both of his eyes would look like that? Or are we talking some other being dressed up as a human? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and if you're new here, don't forget to follow for more creepy story time.
Now, you'll be surprised, but a lot of these pastors you see in these pulpits, they ain't human. I just did a video in the membership about a pastor who was a reptilian. She's got a pastor reptilian story as well. So we see, it's going to be a lot more in the pulpit. Keep y'all eye open.
CIA has codes to hack the universe. Did you guys know this?
Wait, we already watched.
You are under spells, people. You're under spell. I ain't under no spell. You are. You're under a spell. You are under spell.
Now that's just gluttony. That's weird and nasty. They just, you know what I'm saying? Just crazy.
We have serious news right now. This is the color of drinking water in Morgan County, Georgia, after a Meta data center came into the town. AOC showed this in a hearing today. Nothing was different. Nothing had changed other than the data center being built. And Morgan County residents are now drinking water of this color, using this colored water when flushing, when washing their hands, and more. And Morgan County isn't an urban area. It's a rural area. And families, many of them have no choice but to now live near a data center. And the Meta data center is actively contributing to colored water that looks like this. It's literally brown, murky, gross, clearly not fit for drinking, definitely not fit for showering in or washing dishes in. That doesn't make anything clean. And the people of Morgan County, Georgia are now experiencing this firsthand, and Congresswoman AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is calling it out.
That's wild. That's wild.
Blood. But that's not what they call it. Try it. It's the fountain of youth.
Seriously. Oh, wait, can you stop for a second? I'm gonna waterfall. Oh my god.
I told you.
What the fuck is that?
Exactly what you think it is.
What?
How do I look so young at 36? Why do you have this bad?
Honestly, I thought he was older than 36. I don't think it's working for him, bro. I don't think it's working, bro. He need to just go ahead and stop.
Oh, sharks! The assassins of the
Gerald.
sea! Woo! Hey, you're not sharks! You're dolphins! The clowns of the sea! Oh. Ow! Ow! Hey, what's the gas?
Florida man claims to have been kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. The man was found.
I already know what the skeptics are typing in the comments. You're going to tell me this is an old episode from 2000. You're going to tell me that the viral story of the man who was kidnapped by dolphins is just a coincidence. Seriously, think about it.
Crazy.
Do you really still believe they're just exceptionally good at guessing? Look at the logic here. The mainstream feeds you the narrative that these writers are just predicting the future. But if you actually look at the patterns, they aren't guessing anything. Look, you can't even talk about predictive programming without getting flagged. I'll just let you guys look into the writers' backgrounds and the comments yourself. Go and check out what people are saying about the beach scene and tell me what you see. Let me know your thoughts and comments.
Gerald real, man, for real.
Have you heard about the lion who is currently climbing Mount Everest, and the scientific experts have no idea where it's come from? They don't think that he's come all the way from the African part of the Africa, because that would just be too far for it to get to Mount Everest. But India doesn't have lions, Russia doesn't have lions, so they don't know where it came from. But you can see it here. This was it as it was approaching base camp, and base camp climber hikers got super scared. They started saying, "Is that a lion?" and running everywhere. But he just regally, calmly walked past them and then headed up Mount Everest. They said they think he's going to reach the peak in about 3 hours here, and they don't know what he's going to do, if he's going to turn around and come back down, or he's going to the peak just to go and lay down and maybe pass away of a fatality death. But they have nicknamed the lion Evie, and he's all over the internet world wide webs right now. Evie the lion, and they're saying maybe he's trying to establish himself as like, I am the king of the entire world. And frankly, I think it would be great if that's the case. But I'm curious what you think.
That's kind of wild. A lion climbing Mount Everest just come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You know what they call God, though? Jesus, the Lion of Judah. You know, could be something spiritual. You never know. You know what I'm saying?
One by one, they're all heading for the hills. Literally. Why are so many celebrities relocating to Montana? Don't scroll. This goes way deeper than you think. Follow if your instincts tell you the elites know something. We don't. Kanye West started it buying a massive ranch in Wyoming, not far from Montana. Oprah followed, quietly buying hundreds of acres near Glacier National Park. Then came tech millionaires, crypto kings, TikTok influencers, and even hedge fund elites. They say it's for peace and privacy. But here's what nobody's saying. Private airstrips, reinforced compounds, self-sustaining energy systems, off-grid water filtration. This isn't a vacation. It's preparation. Rumors point to a digital blackout event, a global currency reset, or even a planned collapse of coastal cities triggered by war, disaster, or something else. Even government insiders are starting to retire near these same zones. So ask yourself, why Montana? And why now? And why them? In spite of the media silence, the land rush is loud. They're not hiding from fame.
We saw a massive mushroom cloud after this explosion that was reported near the Stat Mika air base in Beit Shemesh. Israel claimed that this was a contained detonation and that it was pre-planned. There's a lot of red flags there in that there were no...
So a mysterious explosion happened in Israel, and right at the moment where he says that there are major red flags, I noticed this right here. This is the Hebrew word for Daniel. You know, the apocalyptic book of the Bible, and the word Daniel is not only a name, it also means God is my judge. Sounds to me like judgment has arrived. The book of Daniel, judgment, apocalyptic, divine judgment over empires, hidden wisdom, interpreting mysteries, and the rise and fall of kingdoms. I know what I see, but I want to see what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below. Love y'all. Have a blessed day.
Sheesh. Yeah, that's kind of crazy though. But I'm gonna end the video right there. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that video in the comments. Please give me what y'all think. Yeah, that was a great video, but like I said, the purpose of my channel is basically to get people to disconnect from the world and connect to the kingdom of God, because we know this, the world, all they do is lie to us. The world is ran by Satan. The world is not what we're supposed to trust in. We're supposed to trust in the kingdom of God, because the kingdom of God, no lies exist, no droughts exist, and it lasts forever. His kingdom is from everlasting to everlasting. And we know this world don't last forever. This world will pass away, the world system. But God's system will never pass away. And it's a very simple process to get into God's kingdom. All you have to do is proclaim with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus Christ came down here and died for your sins. Guess what? You are saved. You have your name written out in the Lamb's Book of Life. Now, if you said that prayer, make sure you find the church, get baptized in the name of Jesus. After you do that, ask Jesus Christ to fill you with his Holy Spirit. Don't forget to find a Bible. Once you get a Bible, start at the book of Matthew. Learn as much about Jesus Christ as you possibly can. I promise you, your life will never be the same again. But hey, see you guys next video. And always remember, be safe out there, kings and queens. Let's get it.